I want to turn my kitchen scraps into composted soil for my garden. Today we are going to build a 3-bin composting system that will turn this into this in just 18 days. Is this possible? We're about to find out. So we have an excess of pallets right now because we just got all the insulation for the school that we're building. Reduce, reuse, recycle. That's a composting pun. So I'm going to make 2 stalls using these pallets. These 2 stalls will be on either side, and then I'll just put a pallet in the back in the middle to sturdy the whole structure up. I'm gonna add a couple of scraps from the school build, and we'll get this thing nice and strong. These are not the most efficient shears, and had I thought about that, I would have brought those down. Secure this guy in. Can I help you, sir? There we go. If you haven't ever composted before, or if you're having problems with your compost pile currently, check out this video. We're gonna fill this first bin up with wood chips so that I have easy access to carbons or browns. Then I'm gonna start my pile in this bin. We have our carbon base. We're gonna add some kitchen scraps. Ugh, that has been sitting for a while. Some lawn clippings, also sitting for a day. Blech. I'm gonna add some clippings from the garden, whatever Howdy will share for me. And chop these up really good so we don't create an anaerobic environment in there. A little layer of carbon. Now I'm adding in a layer of coffee grounds from my local coffee shop. By the way, these are fantastic greens. Even though they're technically black, they have all kinds of nitrogen and other goodies still in the hull of the coffee bean. A little layer of carbon.
3 hours later.
So we have our bins ready to go. This is on my daily walking path so that I see this and I'm reminded to check on it on a regular basis, right by the barn where I'm getting animal waste as I'm cleaning it, right next to the garden where I can take that finished compost and put it into the garden. We're a week in with this compost and it is so cool how it's been working. Day 2, it was up to 160 degrees. This is almost too hot to touch. It is breaking down so quickly and it's starting to turn black, but holy moly, I'm like gonna burn my hand. And now it's starting to fall a little bit. The big benefit of using a thermometer like this is it gives us a really clear visual indication of when it's time to stir. It's still plenty hot to be active right now. We're going to actually wait till it starts getting down to here. When we do stir it, we're going to basically try to flip this thing inside out. We want all the things that are there in the middle to come out to the outside and all the stuff that's here on the outside to go into the middle. Hi, Oliver. To get that composting process reactivated, we're going to turn the pile inside out. We're going to rotate it here. All that organic matter is turning black. If we actually can make this happen in 18 days, by the next time we move the pile, all of the items that we originally put in it should be completely unrecognizable. The fact that this still has a smell to it on the inside of the pile, but I can't smell it on the outside of the pile, is proof that the carbon sponge is doing its job, but it's also proof that this is not done composting yet. So, all those smelly bits we want to make sure end up ultimately covered with a little carbon at the end too, so we're not attracting any rodents or flies to the pile. And as I'm doing this, any big pieces that I'm seeing, I'll just break them up a little bit. My not so helpful helpers and I have just looked at the compost thermometer and realized that it is time for this pile's last turn. The minute it goes down out of the active range, I know it's time to turn it again. And you'll notice that there are some bigger pieces on the outside of the pile. But if we go in a little bit, all of that stuff is broken down, and I'm pretty sure that that's gonna get us where we need to go. All right, my friends, it is day 20. We were supposed to go to day 18, but well, a thing or two happened, and here we are at day 20, and this is what we're left with. The pile has been flipped 2 times, but officially we're gonna say 2 1/4 times because of things like this that have been going on this entire time. Do you mind, sir? One quick thing to mention about this 3-bin system is that a few days into the composting, I added that piece of plywood over there. It just screws right in and then screws right off. And it plays a really important role in keeping the heat inside the pile. You want to build your pile at least 3 feet tall, but as you build your pile taller and taller, it's very likely that the sides start to give way a little bit. The addition of the plywood keeps more material in, so we can go higher and get more weight down on top of the pile, and therefore keep the heat in a whole lot better. Regardless of what you put in your pile, how many times you flip it, how long it's been, if you watch my beginner's guide to composting video, you know that the measure of finished compost is whether or not you can distinguish things that you originally put into the pile as you're taking them out. You'll notice that there are some larger wood chunks left over as I'm screening this, and so if my goal really was to make 18-day completely finished compost, then I partially failed in that I used wood chips that were too big to fully decompose during that time. That said though, wood chips are not going to stop seeds from emerging from the soil, but they are going to act like a sponge when it rains, holding the water in the soil. They're also going to be a solar barrier from all of the water beneath it evaporating off of the soil surface. What I definitely don't want to see as I'm doing this is any chunks of vegetables or, any discernible items that look exactly the same way they did when I put them in here. I mean, even these wood chunks, are so much smaller now than they were when they first came in, so I know that the composting did its job. So in that regard, this is absolutely stellar stuff. We made a free composting cheat sheet that you can print out and take with you wherever you go. You can find that on my Squarespace website, unwanted.com. While you're there, there are tons of other blog posts about composting, fixing your soil, how to stop watering your garden, and all kinds of other useful things when it comes to actually turning trash into treasure. I use the store on my Squarespace site to sell all kinds of things. T-shirts like the First Harvest t-shirt I'm wearing in this video, project plans, other merchandise, and spoons. I've been using Squarespace to host my website since I started my business in 2012. It is a fantastic platform for people who are not super tech savvy like me to take everything that I want to put out there into the world and drag and drop it into a beautiful artist designed template that then puts it out there into the world. Squarespace would be a great resource for you if you want to start your own blog or if you want to start selling some things online. So check out squarespace.com, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/AnnabelleTrades for a 10% discount. If you feel like you've got a handle on composting now and you're ready to take your garden to the next level where you don't even have to water it, check out this video. I will see you there. Cheers!